Hello, everyone. Today we are going to talk about how I am currently updating my spiritual practice. We're also going to talk about how I used my spiritual practice and frequency work to actually influence other people's health that are around me and people that I knew that were very far away from me. And so I thought that was really valuable to tell everyone how to remote heal or even influence the healing of people that you know so they have a better chance of being healthy and happy and live a very peaceful, long life. And that's really valuable. That's a very valuable thing to know, especially if you're someone like me and you have your third eye and crown chakras illuminated with the use of the natural medicine. So, we are going to talk about how I am adjusting my spiritual practice. Now, when I have a manifestation, when I want a manifestation, I usually come up with a ritual routine and I continuously repeat that routine every month or every week, depending on the ritual, and I do that on repeat for the next couple of years. So, for example, the last 2 years, I was manifesting money, and now I'm in a place where I'm very comfortable. I'm very stable with my job, with my home. I can eat basically whatever I want. I'm feeling pretty comfortable. And so, yes, my money manifestation does work. And the end result now is that I have a very consistent flow to my life, and all of the areas in my life that help support me or stabilize my life flows all together in a way that is very harmonious. It's a very harmonious flow of every aspect in my life in order to make sure that I'm fed, that I can go to work, and that I still have my house. And we have been adjusting the frequency for the last 2 years in order to put me here where I am today. And so I'm very happy with that result. Um, I'm very happy with my results, but you know, in order to unlock bigger things for yourself, you're going to have to heal another part of your life. I felt so so now that I am switching my manifestation, I have started to gather tools and I used my reference books to start to put me in a different frequency, which was pretty interesting how that happened. So, when I decided I wanted to switch my frequency, it felt okay. So, now we're trying to manifest love. We're trying to manifest a relationship. We're trying to get me married because I'm very stable with my money manifestation and you know, but I'm like still alone. And if I wanted to have the bigger type of money, if I wanted like all the big stuff, you're going to have to put other people's energy into your manifestation. So, right now, we are going to switch into manifesting love, manifesting a relationship. Because there's only so far you can get with money manifestation by yourself. So, if you're just like a solo energy work professional like me, if you're just by yourself doing all this, you will find that if you're trying to manifest money for long enough, that you hit a wall. And I've researched a bit more about using your energy and like how you can properly use your energy to manifest. And I looked deeper into that topic and they told me that you may need bigger energy if you wanted like more than just stability. If you wanted like luxury, if you wanted to live in a bigger way. And well, right now we're stable. My manifestation made me stable, but if you wanted the bigger luxury things, you're going to have to figure out a way to put more energy into your manifestation, something bigger than like a little candle. Like a little candle the flame is not big enough to actually power all the big luxury items, which makes sense. So I looked into having spiritual batteries like a spell jar, and I'm not going to explain the whole thing right now because we have a lot to cover today, but using a spell jar as a spiritual energy battery is really, really useful. Or you can have other people helping with the same manifestation, which now comes into our love manifestation that we are switching into. That I went and gathered all of these supplies in order to manifest a really healthy relationship, actually. Using spirituality to manifest a relationship is more powerful and more accurate and more safe than it is to get a relationship in the traditional way, because now we're using energy savers, like a bookmark almost. So using frequencies, using crystals, is like using a bookmark to keep your energy in a certain place. So it's constantly running. So it's constantly emitting this energy that actually realigns your life path and realigns your movements. And it actually puts you where you need to be in a healthier way. So it actually, using the energy work will guarantee that you have a healthy relationship rather than accidentally being with the wrong person that could hurt you, which is really important to know, which is really good to know, because no one likes to waste their time in a bad relationship. Nobody wants to get hurt. So, using a bookmark, an energy saver, or an energy stabilizer, where you stabilize your energy in a certain frequency for an extended period of time to increase your chances to find a healthy relationship and not accidentally be with the wrong person, because now your energy has a placeholder to keep it in a certain spot that that you that will keep your energy in a certain spot. Okay, sorry. But yeah, I hope that made sense. I hope that makes sense. So now when you keep your energy in a certain spot, it communicates with the higher dimensions and it will slowly adjust your life path. Now, like I said, I use manifestation techniques on repeat for the next couple years. Like, it could take years. But at the end of a couple of years, you will find that your manifestation was very solid and very reliable, and it's going to be with you for a long time, and it's actually going to be there to nurture you for an extended period of time, and it will be very stable for you. So, I went over to the spiritual shop near my house, and I always go there. They're a really good small business. They're a really good small business. So, what I picked up is I got this big red candle, and I also got this love drawing oil. This was $23. I know, insane, but it smells very soft and it smells very flowery. And the small business that I buy from, they make their own oil blends. They take their craft very seriously. So this is a very custom and secret formula oil. So a lot of care has been taken to create that item, which I love. We like to see that. Also, the ladies at the spiritual shop, the owner, she gave me one of those candle snuffers for free, and she also gave me an orange calcite necklace for free too. This is a $25 necklace, and she just gave it to me for free because I was supporting a small business. And I always go back to that shop, and I always spend a fair amount of money to make sure my frequency is in the right place so I can get what I want in the most healthy way, in the safer way. So yeah, the reason why I use this candle snuffer is because when you are manifesting money and love and things like that, you don't want to blow out your candles. You want to make sure it gets put out like this. Don't blow the energy away from you, especially if you wanted money, especially if you wanted love. You don't want to blow that away, so you use one of these. I hope that was useful. That's pretty freaking smart to me. That's pretty freaking smart. Okay. And let's see. Okay, so as for my manifestation, we are doing weekly refreshes of energy. And here's how that works. So, every day of the week is connected to a certain planet. Not all planets, but 7 planets are connected to each day of the week. And we'll just go over them real quick. So, Sunday is the sun, of course, for success. Monday is for renewal, for cancers, for the moon, Cancer, yeah. That's the moon energy. And then Tuesday is Mars for courage and power, for a lot of courageous power, yeah. And Wednesday is for Mercury for communication and learning. Thursday is for Jupiter for luck and success and money. Friday is for love for Venus. And Saturday is for Saturn, which is more of a day that we purify the energy and remove any bad energy right there. So we have a weekly routine here. So using the days of the week that are connected with each planet, we have a routine going on. So every week I will use Friday to put the oil on my candle, and I might put some like herbs on there. So I'll use like oil, and then after I oil the candle, I'll put herbs on there. And then every Friday, because Friday's for Venus, for love and beauty, we'll burn the candle for like 30 minutes or something, or meditate with it, or any of that. And we will refresh the energy. Also, in order to change my manifestation to get a husband or a boyfriend, I made a spell jar right here. And this spell jar has rose quartz in it. It has rosemary. It has pink salt, lavender, and rose. And an intention folded at the top right there. And I sealed it off with pink wax. This is a type of spiritual battery that I'm going to use. And of course, we always bring it out in the moonlight every full moon to recharge it, because we constantly need to be charging this battery with our spiritual energy to make our love attraction stronger. I really, really, really want to find a boyfriend here. Because after you find another practitioner, of course, when you have 2 people putting their energy into a manifestation, you start to come across the bigger items, like the more luxury, the more expensive items. It's not just you taking care of yourself. You have two more energies. You have 2 energies now that are pulling a manifestation in, which will, bring in much bigger items for you. Which, that's what we want. That's what we want. That's really what we want. Also, on Thursday, I still do a bit of my money manifestation to keep myself stable. I haven't completely dropped it yet. I think it's good to just kind of do a Thursday ritual. Thursday with the planet Jupiter for luck, success, and money. So we'll use a green candle with some money oil, and we'll put like clove on there, or we'll put like cinnamon on that candle as well. And we'll do that every Thursday to bring in money and to keep my money good. And of course, on Saturday, we're going to clear the energy with a black candle and make sure that we can remove any type of negative energies that will be preventing us from getting what we want, of course. And of course, we also have to follow the moon and have like a main general thing, a main general energy of the moon phase as well. I know, it's pretty confusing. It's pretty confusing, but if you've been doing this for a long time, if you've been doing this for a long time, it gets easier. So, moving on to the last thing I wanted to talk about is I can't believe I haven't talked about this yet, but this is pretty interesting, and I had some really interesting scientific discoveries during this time. So, this year was a bit hard for me because my older brother told me that he had cancer. So, um, before he told me he had cancer, I actually gifted him, I actually sent in the mail one of these orgonite generators. This is a black tourmaline orgonite generator, so I got one for him. And then after the fact, he told me he had cancer and that he was starting his chemotherapy and radiation. And so he told me that he was spending a lot of time with his crystal and that he was meditating with it, and he was clearing the energy of the crystal with the sun, because that's how you cleanse and charge the energy of these. You leave it out in the sun. And so he's been doing that quite often, and he's been using this that I gave him to actually assist with his healing in cancer, and he did survive. He's in remission and he's doing very well. Another thing, so my brother lived like pretty far away, and I couldn't go drive to go see him because I was stuck at work a lot here. And so what I did is that I sent him Reiki videos, I sent him light language videos, and I also was focusing on the intention myself to use prayer. I actually, when I use praying, when I actually pray, it actually works very, very, very well, and it works very quickly. I usually get what I want when I pray. I don't ask for anything like big and crazy, but anything like anything like smaller, I suppose. Anything that's more realistic, if you pray on it, you'll definitely get it. So, of course, I did prayer and I did light language. And what I did was that I go into like my meditative space, and I kind of use my, since I am an air sign, I am an air sign, I'm a Gemini. So air signs are very mental, very intelligent. So they use their mind a lot to create their manifestations. And so what I did is I focused my brain power. I don't know if any of you like know how to do this, but um I'll go over this like kind of next year, I think. But each of the zodiac signs has special abilities. So what I did, since I'm a Gemini sun, what I did is that I used an ability called reality bending. And so what you do is you get deep into your mind and you think about your target that you want to be healing, and then you'll start to I'll start to put on like light language, and then in my mind I will target who I'm trying to heal. And so I let the light language go through my mind and be put on that person with the energy, even if I do live really far away, because I wasn't able to actually be there in person with him. And of course, I always put my hands together like this and I pray and make sure that both of my hands are touching flat. That will close the circuit. There's like an energy circuit that your hands create, and if you close the circuit, it'll help you manifest. It helps you manifest better. I don't know how else to explain it, but it's pretty sciencey and it's pretty cool to know how to do that. Um, so yeah, another thing is that I told my brother, when he told me he had cancer, I told my brother, maybe you can look into some vegan practices, or you can just completely avoid eating cane sugar and you should go for more like fruit sugars, because fructose and glucose are not the same thing. And the body doesn't like glucose, it likes the fructose. So we're not going to be eating cane sugar, we're going to be eating like coconut sugar, right? So I told him that. And here's the really, really interesting thing that we have documented for science is that when you have cancer and you have a choice, you can go with the chemotherapy and radiation, or you can do the veganism and the fasting, but you can't do both of them together. You're not going to be able to do them together. And my brother told me that when he was going through chemotherapy, he needed a big steak. Like, he really needed something like heavy and hard to actually keep him stable. But if he wanted to be vegan, if he wanted to fast, if he wanted to heal his body with plants instead, then he would have to stop the chemotherapy, and he was not able to do them at the same time because he said he felt very weak doing that. But he did heal, and he is in remission, and he's doing well now, and he's still alive today. And I'm very, very happy about that I was able to help influence the way that he was healing and make sure that he was okay. So I did not lose my brother. I'm really happy about that. But hopefully that gives you guys some ideas on how to make sure that your energy is in the right place so you can actually live your best life. Thank you for listening to me today, and I hope you have a good Yule, because we're going to be doing Yule pretty soon here. It's the end of November, so we're coming up to the first day of winter too. We are coming up to the first day of winter, which I have an entire other ritual to be doing with that too. Yeah, I got this orange calcite for free. The ladies at the local shop, my spiritual shop, they're super sweet to me. I always go in there, always like drop a ton of money in that store. So they gave me this $25 orange calcite necklace for free. Orange calcite is very connected to the winter solstice. So we're feeling very festive. I still need to pick up a few more things. And yeah, have a good one. Thank you for listening. Bye.